When Valentine, the co-founder, came to NOAH in 2015, the company was worth 6 million euros. Today it's 9 billion. It's one of the largest speaking companies. Thank you so much, Max, for being here. So fintech is not a VC bonanza. There is something more than that, right? Tell us what this is, and are the customers profitable, or are you getting only the students like some journalist in Germany was writing a while ago? Tell us about the business. Can't wait.
Thank you, Marco, so much for the kind introduction. Actually, always love coming back to NOAH, as Marco was reminding me. It's actually not only the beginning of what we believe quite an exciting success story. It's also the beginning, even more importantly, of a very close friendship with Marco and his lovely wife, Daria. COVID-19 has changed the way we are working a lot, and I personally, I learned many things, but I can still say that talking on stage, like with people watching, is still most energizing for me. So thanks a lot, Marco and his team, for organizing this event, and thank you, all of you, for actually taking the hassle and also the risk, as one can say, to come to Zurich today. Today I will talk about sustainability at N26, how we think about it, also a little bit what's the vision behind N26. But first of all, I would like to answer the question that started us on our journey. Why start a bank? When we started to work on N26, I believed, and I still believe that this is true today, that financial services is an area of tremendous opportunity. It's the area most ready for disruption, as we believe. When we started to look at finance, we realized there's a massive shift in user behavior. It's a shift from offline, people used to go to the bank branch, to online, people started to do banking on the browser, to mobile. People started banking on their smartphone. And then we looked at the interfaces of the big European banks and beyond, and we realized no one is providing a great digital user experience. No one is actually providing a product for people that like to do things at the smartphone. And then we also looked at all the industries that had already been disrupted by new technologies. And we realized disruption is never coming from the incumbents. It wasn't the travel agencies that founded Booking. It wasn't the record labels that founded Spotify. It wasn't Blockbuster that founded Netflix. It wasn't the telcos that founded Zoom, and so on and so on. You can literally look at any industry. And I very much believe it won't be the big banks that really change the way how we do our daily financial transaction. Disruption needs to come from the outside. But we also, besides the opportunity, looked at a different aspect. I did many things before founding a startup. I worked in consulting, I was working corporate. I was actually an M&A lawyer before founding N26. And I can say working in a startup is by far the most meaningful thing I've ever done in literally any dimension that counts to me. It's about the steepness of the learning curve. It's about, the satisfaction when you can make your visions become reality. But it's also about impact. It's about the impact you can have on people's life. That's our vision. We want to build a bank that 100 million people around the world love to use. Actually, an important one, we just revisited our values, and we obviously also have values like collaboration or integrity. I think they're important, but they're not unique to N26, because I also believe, like Deutsche Bank wouldn't deny that collaboration and integrity are important. There's one value that's especially important to me, because it sets N26 apart from 10,000 of other startups in Europe and around the globe. That value is ambition. No one told us we need to go outside of Germany. No one told us build a pan-European bank. Today we're the only ones that, based on one IT platform and one banking license, onboard customers all over Europe. We also want to go global. Like, that vision has become bigger. 100 million people around the globe. It is not something you can reach in Europe. And if you think about the impact with our product, it's a mobile-first digital bank account. If you think about the impact you can have on people's life. If you think about financial inclusion, if you think about going to Brazil, which is our next market, where millions of people don't have access to the banking system at any fair rate, if you think about how much impact you can have on their lives in terms of giving them a fair access to a fairly priced digital banking product. It's also about financial literacy. How can you give all the people back the control over their finances? How can you support them in building a certain level of wealth? We know why are customers coming to N26? Why are customers choosing N26 over other banks? We know a couple of things are outstanding. One, they're choosing N26 for the digital user experience. Two, they like it that we can provide our product cheaper than anyone else. Think about N26 as a technology bank. There's a lot of banks that have an outsourced IT company. N26 is an IT company with an outsourced bank, and that allows us to offer our product at much lower rates. But there's also a third thing that's important to them. It's about we want to think banking differently. We want to build up a brand that's different to others. And our customers, more than others, they also care about the impact we are having in the things we are doing every day. More than 90% of our customers think climate change is a serious problem. I think an obvious one for people here in this room, but many people still don't get it. Majority of the people also want the bank to have an impact, and they want them to build products against climate change. If you think about our business model, it is sustainable at its core. Just a couple of aspects. Think about our customer journey. It's fully paperless, from the account opening, over sending around T's and C's, to account statements. Think about the carbon footprint of a digital bank compared to a traditional bank. There's no commuting of the customers. We are way more efficient, way more scalable in the way we provide our services. So we have far less employees per customers. We don't have branches. We don't need heating. We have far less waste. Like we estimate that less than per employee, it's less than 25% of the CO2 emissions compared to traditional banks. Per customer, it's for sure less than 50%. We reduce the cardless tier, so our customers can actually choose to not receive a physical Mastercard. So basically, it is like you save the shipment, and you also save a lot of plastic trash. But beyond sustainability, we also want to provide our customers with a way to contribute to causes that matter to them. So we created a donate button and allow our customer to donate towards like anything they care about, everything from climate to inclusion and other topics. This is a topic we supported I'm particularly proud about. Like last year, we were collaborating with the World Food Program of United Nations, and we said for every transactions in e-commerce in a period of 3 weeks, we are actually donating 1 meal. And just to give you a feeling, every second, 60 seconds a minute, like 3,600 seconds an hour, like 24 hours a day, every second we have like several transactions. And for every of these transactions, we were actually supporting. And we also doubled the like amounts that our customers donated to that cause. So I'm actually proud to say I loved this initiative. I'm proud to say that just in a couple of weeks, we were able to donate like millions and millions of meals to children in need. Another one that's important to us, we're actually working together with the Mastercard Foundation on planting 200,000 trees in this month of December 2021. What's next here? We want to reduce our carbon footprint by 20%, and we're also looking with our friends from About Climate, who are also present at this conference today, how can we reach CO2 neutrality as soon as possible. To close, I very much believe with everything we are doing, we should be part of the solution and not the problem. And we need to work all together to build a sustainable planet for generations to come. Thank you so much for having me, and have a great rest of the conference.